what is the legal status of CBD? When you ask me, is CBD legal in the state of Texas, I'm going to say no, unless you're included in the Texas Compassionate Use Act, because Texas Compassionate Use Program. And I'll explain why. Now, for these companies you're seeing in the smoke shops, Walmart, I mean, every different corner store that's selling CBD products, what they're trying to do is market it as a food supplement or a dietary supplement, which the FDA, who actually distinguishes that, has already come out and said that CBD is not a dietary supplement and it doesn't belong in food. That's their official stance, and here's how they explain that. If a substance such as THC or CBD is an active ingredient in a drug product that has been approved or has been authorized for investigation as a new drug for which substantial clinical investigation has been instituted, for which the existence of such investigation has been made public, then products containing that substance are outside the definition of a dietary supplement. In June of 2018, the FDA actually approved Epidiolex, which treats rare, severe forms of epilepsy. So because of this, they can say that CBD falls outside the definition of a dietary supplement. So all these food dietary supplements you see on the side of the roads that they're actually not progressively prosecuting or taking action against at this point in time is technically illegal, and if they wanted to, they could pursue it any moment. So keep that in mind. Do I think they're going to pursue it at any moment? No, the FDA has actually made statements saying they're going to wait until we see what the exact regulations are going to be before they start taking too much action, but they've said they could, and they will at any time. So keep that in mind. It's not completely legal, but we just passed the 2018 Farm Bill, which in theory which technically did legalize hemp across the entire United States. So what it did is it reclassified hemp for commercial uses. The Farm Bill distinguishes hemp from marijuana by removing it from the Controlled Substances Act. So it now is going to be regulated by the Department of Agriculture as opposed to the Drug Enforcement Agency. And with that, they're allowing state agriculture departments to actually develop their own policies, and we have to submit them to the Department of Agriculture. If they approve them, then we can go. We can have our own policy. If not, the Department of Agriculture is actually to develop it's regulation guidelines for the rest of the states. It's going to be basically a default plan, is what they're calling it. So once the Drug Administration, the Department of Agriculture actually lays that out, from there we'll be able to, if we don't have hemp laws already in place, we'll be able to go off of their guidelines. So that's what we're waiting on. There's already been states pushing the Department of Agriculture to lay out these guidelines, so we're waiting on that at any moment. It could be any day, it could be any week. You never know with them. What is our state's stance at this point in time? Like I said, currently only the individuals that can access CBD in Texas are those licensed by the Department of Public Safety and patients with irretractable epilepsy prescribed with CBD under the TCUP Act, or TCUP program. So Sharen Wilson's quote, I work for a criminal defense attorney. I'm not going to defend a prosecutor in the slightest, but I will agree that she was accurate when she said that, there was a lot of emotion and passion with whenever she said, I'll prosecute CBD cases, because there's no reason for her to even say that, and I'll agree with that 100%. But all she did was confirm that that is in fact the case, unless you're included in the TCUP program. It is illegal. She made the statement that the Texas Commissioner of Health, John Hellerstedt, added marijuana extract to Schedule 1 of the Controlled Substances Act in May of 2017. So, she even told us, guys, if y'all want something done about it, let's call him. And she did also add this, and the majority of people didn't even see it, that out of the 50,000 cases that they had last year, they did not spend and do not expect to spend a lot of time pursuing CBD cases. So we do have that going at least, and I'll tell you this, I've worked down, walking distance down the street from the Tarrant County Courthouse for 2 years now, and I've never ever seen one case where someone was arrested and charged with just CBD. I've seen people arrested with it. I've even seen people give their product back, but I've never seen people prosecuted for it. So we do have that going for us. Again, I think they have a very laid-back approach to it, but at the end of the day, they're making it very clear that it is illegal at the end of the day, and we have to wait for the law to change before they can say otherwise. So how do we clear up the 420 shades of gray when it comes to CBD legality? A few things would have to happen for us. I think that, a business could get shut down, and they could go, to a federal judge and let a federal judge decide the law. That'd be great. But at this point in time, I think what's going to have to happen is either Texas is going to have to implement their own guidelines this legislative session, or the Department of Agriculture is going to have to lay out their default plan, and hopefully we'll be able to go by that. But they still might have the excuse that marijuana extract is a controlled substance in Texas. So there's a lot to be done to change CBD laws in the state of Texas. Would I be scared to go to a corner store and buy some CBD? No. To be honest with you, I've had shoulder pain. I'm a college student. I work in a desk, and I come home to a desk, and I've had shoulder pain that's ridiculous for several years now. Whenever I was in high school, I remember taking muscle relaxers and things like that, sitting there at my desk in school because my shoulder pain was so bad. And the only thing that has ever helped is a few drops of CBD tincture underneath my tongue. I may have got it right the first time. That helps too.
Cameron.
No.
Sure, Cameron.
No, honestly, guys, it's a 10 times better anti-inflammatory than ibuprofen will ever even think about being, and it truly does help. It's a medicine, and it grows out of the ground, and there's no reason it should belong in a controlled substance for any reason. It's a medicine.